Hello, I'd like to share some information today in regards to dealing with change. This information is coming from verywellmind.com, written by Kendra Cherry and medically reviewed by Rachel Goldman. So, change is an inevitable part of life. Finding ways to accept and cope can make these transitions smoother and less troubling. So, here are some reasons why dealing with change may not be so easy. So change requires adjustment. Sometimes these can be small things like finding a new way to do something or adding something new to some of your daily routines. This can create stress or feelings of anxiety and depression in some cases. So this does not mean that it's always bad. Even with good changes you are excited about can be stress inducing. So, as change happens, your routines can become disruptive. You suddenly have to adapt as you're pushed further and further out of your comfort zone. So, if you find yourself or may find yourself experiencing symptoms such as anxiety, changing appetite, irritability, depression or sadness, stomach upsetness, problem sleeping, muscle pain, tension headaches, trouble concentrating, having strategies to cope with that can help you become more resilient to stress, make it easier to adapt to situations in your life. You may not be able to stop the change from happening, and though you can take greater control of how you are responding. So change, whether it's positive or negative, can create stress that affects both your physical and mental well-being. Sometimes it can lead to unpleasant symptoms of anxiety, sadness, headaches. This is why you may find yourself struggling even after a positive change has taken place in your life. So here are some tips with dealing with change. If you tend to be resilient in the face of life challenges, you may bounce back and adapt with relative ease. And though, if you tend to struggle more with transitions, you may need a little extra help to get on track. Fortunately, there are some steps that a person can take while dealing with change to help make those adjustments a bit easier. So, preparing yourself. Life often happens when you do not expect it. So keeping an eye on the future and preparing yourself, at least mentally, may be a bit of assistance or beneficial. Spend some time thinking about the events that are coming up in the future that may lead to changes of disruptions. So, there are some examples in which that you may experience some changes. So to kind of circumvent that or to assist that, create lists of things that you need to do before it happens. Save money to avoid financial stressors during the time of transition. Discuss what will happen in the event of an emergency. Talk to a career planner or financial professional about your goals if you're able to. Make conscientious choices about what you want to change in your life. So when you are the one that's initiating the change, there's a stronger chance that you'll feel like you have more control over what's happening. It's often the unexpected life challenges or changes, whether it's divorce, death of a loved one, loss of employment, that can leave you feeling afraid and unsure of what will happen. One thing you should avoid doing is relying on avoidance coping skills when you're confronting with stressful changes. You use avoidance coping. When you do that, you try to avoid the stress instead of dealing with it. So another tip is changing the way in which you think or view. Cognitive reframing is a technique that can help an individual with changing these negative thoughts. It's a strategy that you can utilize day-to-day life to help you look at situations in a more realistic, hopeful attitude. It's more empowering to shift the perspective to focus more on your strengths and abilities to adapt. This way, you may see the positives that come out of situation or believe in your ability to survive and thrive through the change. So negative thinking patterns can make it more difficult to deal with the change. Shifting your mindset and being more positive and hopeful can help you feel more resilient and capable. So there's also maintaining routines. Simple things like going to bed, waking up at the same time each morning can provide you with a sense of structure, even if it feels like other areas in your life are less predictable. There are other activities that you can incorporate in your daily routine that may be of assistance for you for your mental well-being during the time of transitions. These are not, all inclusive. These are some examples: eating healthier meals, getting regular physical activity, carving out moments of relaxation techniques, creating realistic goals, getting plenty of rest each night. The routine that works for you depends on your situation and your needs. Be mindful of that. Find social support. That's essential for mental well being, but this can also be particularly true when dealing with change. Ways that you can benefit may include encouragement. Your social support can assist you in encouraging you to succeed when confronting some type of challenge. Tangible support. Sometimes change brings a need for actual physical help for certain tasks, like someone bringing you soup or a meal if you're not feeling well. Also, information. Social connections can be a great way for you to learn things and gain information that you may need to take as you make changes in your life. Um, Also, there is those emotional supports. Friends and loved ones can listen and provide empathy and comfort. It's important to remember that people may not be able to recognize your specific type of support or your need for that. Uh, Asking for the type of support you need is a great place to start. Also, caring for yourself. Stressful events often seem worse when you're exhausted or hungry, so taking some time to get your basic needs met by eating a healthy meal, getting some rest, or just taking some time to relax can restore some sense of equilibrium in your life. When to get help. If you're having difficulty struggling with dealing with change, talk to your healthcare provider or a mental health professional. They can recommend treatments that may be of assistance for you. In some cases, psychotherapy, medications, or a combination of the two may help you deal with symptoms of stress caused by changes in your life. So, the takeaway: you cannot always control change, and though you can manage how you respond to those changes. Developing a positive mindset is a great way to promote resiliency. And it is also important to take care of yourself during the times of transition. Make sure that you're sticking to a routine, caring for your physical and emotional needs, and asking loved ones to help when you're needing an extra hand. So, I hope this information was of assistance for you today, and I hope you enjoy the remainder of your day.